Hi, it's Steph. So today we're going to be working on propagating butterfly bush. This footage is from last summer after we had record-breaking scorching heat. It got up to 115 degrees, and the last time it did that was over 80 years ago. So this butterfly bush, it's trying to recover from that heat. But I just wanted to put this in so you can see the whole purpose of why I want to have butterfly bush, because the monarchs come through here and they're just so beautiful. And also the hummingbirds and the bumblebees and the honeybees love butterfly bush. Okay, so I had to trim back one of my butterfly bushes, and so it's got a lot of really good branches on it. So what I'm going to try to do is clone it. So these are from the dollar store, you guys, and I love these shears. I mean, they're sharp, and as long as you don't like hack off big branches, they work really well. And I'm house sitting, babysitting some puppy dogs, so if you hear them barking, I'm sorry. They're obnoxious, but they're sweet. I love them. So I've already done one. And so I wish I had rooting hormone. I have it somewhere, but I can't find it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so look, I've got this giant branch that I had to cut off because it was taking up too much space in the garden. So this is a lot of really nice plant. So I'm just going to make some clones so I can plant them somewhere else or give them to my neighbor. Let me see. So I'm going to set this off to the side. So first things first, it's already going into bloom. And when you're trying to clone something, you don't want to have a bloom on it. Oh, I was out working in the garden and I have totally PO'd like some ants, and they're just crawling all over me, making me feel crazy. Okay, so you want a tender branch. So this is off the bottom of the plant. So a lot of this is really tender, and as I go down, it starts to become more firm and more like wood. That's not going to root as easily. So I'm gonna come up, let's see, like this is still pretty flexible. So just to make it easy to work with, I'm going to cut it right there, kind of at a little bit of an angle. Now I can work with it better. So you definitely want to remove all of this, these side branches. They're not going to do anything for you. Now that's pretty, that's pretty stiff, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to take off all this growth right here. Rooting butterfly bush is so easy. And then these are the nodes. And you just want to come down, I don't know, maybe like 1/4 inch and cut it at an angle. And then the plant is going to try to continue to grow. And so we don't want it to have to try to grow the flower. So I'm going to remove that, making sure not to cut into the stem. Well, actually, I'm going to remove all the way down. I'm going to just remove this whole growing tip. So if this plant roots, it's going to have 2 side shoots, but I'm also going to trim back the leaves. That way the plant can focus on trying to make roots out of these nodes instead of trying to grow the plant. And then I'm just going to set it down into my water. And you know, none of these might make it. Maybe all of them will. It'll be interesting to see. So now I'm going to come around over here to another tender stem. I'm just going to cut it down so it's manageable and do the same exact thing. So first I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this growing tip, because all of this is right now is the flower, and it's not going to want to grow roots. It's going to want to grow the flower. So I'm just going to remove it. And now, oh God, these ants are driving me nuts. You would want to do this sooner. I had no intentions of making clones, but I thought I would just go ahead and give it a try since I have the branch. Now this is pretty wooden. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all this here. And I'm going to come down again, maybe 1/4 inch. Oh my God, they're making me crazy. They're all over me, you guys. I must have got on an ant nest. I might not be able to make it through this because I can just feel them crawling on me. It's giving me the EBGB so bad. Okay. Ugh. All right, here's another good one. So a lot of this is just going to go into the yard debris, the recycling, but again, very tender, very flexible. That's good for rooting. I'm going to just remove this growing tip here. Just cut right into it without damaging it because the nodes will come out from there. And then I'm going to remove this bottom growth. Cut down about, is that a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch? I don't know. Kind of at an angle. Stick it in my water. And I want to keep all the growing tips above the water. Oh, I forgot. You want to trim all this excess leaf so that the plant is not trying to keep the leaves alive. It's trying to make roots. Even with right here. So there's enough leaf there for it to catch the sunlight. Oh, golly. Do it on here too. See, there's 2 growing tips right there. Those are going to come up and make a shoot. And we'll see. I mean, none of these might work. I mean, who knows? I did the first one. It's pretty woody, but I wanted to give it a try. And I should also trim those leaves. Just make it easier on the plant to try to reproduce itself. Okay. This is probably also not like the best container for doing it. But then also if I come down into it, like this shoot right here, like off this big stem, that's perfect for cloning. I'll just take it right there. It has everything it needs. It's probably better than those ones I just made. So I'm going to remove the leaves. Do the same thing. Come on down. Cut off the extra leaves. There's enough left. Stick it down in the water. Actually, that one will probably make it better than the other ones. All right, let's see. Like, there are so many shoots on here. Like, here's another one. Here's another great one. Because it doesn't have the flower bloom yet, but it's got a good growing tip. So we're going to remove the leaves. Cut these back just so it doesn't focus on that. Stick it in the water. Let's try this one. Pretty woody. Not really what I want. I think it would be better if I come right here. 1/2 inch. Remove this because that's where the roots are going to come out. So I think you get the point. Oh, and then I'm going to remove the bloom. I'm just going to remove that whole growing tip. This one's got 2 side shoots. I'll do one more and then I'll call it good. But again, rooting butterfly bush is so easy to do. And like I said, you can give it to your neighbors. Everybody loves butterfly bush because the hummingbirds and the butterflies love it. And if you're trying to attract hummingbirds and butterflies, pollinators to your yard, the butterfly bush will definitely do it. Yeah, there are just a lot of really good viable clones. I'm not going to make them all because, you know, there are just only so many you can give away. And I've pretty much run out of room to where I can plant. Let's try this one too. Might as well. Okay, so pretty stemmy, so I'm gonna do this one right here. Once you know what you're doing, it goes really quick. So I need to remove that this is the flower. Remove that, trim back the leaves, stick it in water. So there, I got a good little handful of potentially future little butterfly bush, and I'll do updates. Like if they start to root, I will share that with you. But super easy to do, and you can do this type of propagation with any of your plants. Really, it's just so easy. I highly recommend it. You know, you get one good healthy plant, and then over the years you just split them up and make yourself some more. So I thought I would just come out and show you where I took it from. So see there at the bottom, I needed to just cut it back. It was shooting out into the garden space too much, and I need to make room for food. So I cut that bottom branch off, and it gave me all those starts. So if those make it, it will grow up to be like this. And I think this is a really pretty magenta butterfly bush. So now I'm going to go over and show you where I set it so it can take some root. So I've set the jar in a nice location. It gets some morning sun, but it's not going to get beaten down with a lot of hot heat through the glass and scorch them. I've had really good luck rooting things over here. And when I came and set it down, I've noticed a spider is having a good time. I just broke up its web. But I'm also in the process of rooting some jade and then this really cool cactus. And just in the last couple months, all that top, that inch, has really taken off. These cactus starts here are, the main mother plant is easily probably 60 years old. So I broke the branches off, did the same process, soaked them in the water till they showed roots, put them in the dirt, and this last year they didn't do much. And then just now that it's warmed up and the sun has been shining, we get all that new growth. So I'll give you updates on these and we'll see what happens. Let's cross our fingers and hope that I have a whole bunch of little butterfly bush to spread around and help our hummingbirds and butterflies get some food and make the neighborhood look pretty. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And have fun gardening!